day 262 and 263, so yesterday and today, for the daily Sefer mitzvahs study. Sorry, we're not doing it daily, and we're not doing it in the day right now. But I do want to make sure we get caught up, so we don't fall further behind. Today, we're going to be covering for the first day, days 262, for negative commandment 299, positive commandment 202, 203, and negative commandment 270. And then we'll also learn positive commandment 245, which is for day 263, which is today. So first of all is the negative commandment 299. This is the command not to put a stumbling block before the blind. So this is, obviously we're not supposed to actually put something for a blind person to stumble on. But this is also, not to give bad advice to someone or to mislead someone. And so that is found in Leviticus 19, verse 14, which says, "You shall not put a stumbling block before the blind." Positive commandment 202 is next. That is the command to unload the burden from a tired animal. So this all comes from Exodus 23, verse 5, which says, if you see your enemy's donkey lying under its load, you shall surely unload with him, and you shall not refrain from helping him. You shall lift him up. So that is the verse for the mitzvah, and so the first commandment that we learn from this is that if we see a tired anybody's, but the verse specifically says your enemies, so to include your enemy, we don't just help those who we consider our friends, but even if we see our enemy's donkey, fallen with a burden, that we remove the burden, we help the donkey up, and that is the first mitzvah that we learn from the verse. And Deuteronomy 22:4 adds, "You shall surely help him lift it up again." So when the animal has had its burden removed, then we lift the burden, or the supplies, whatever it is that he was carrying, and put it back onto the animal, and assist with getting the person back on their way. And then Exodus 23:5 again gives us negative commandment 270, which is to aid the person in need of assistance. So it says, "You shall not refrain from helping him." So you can't ignore someone who's in distress. So this again can be, or can and should be understood more broadly than the situation of the ancient times, like they would have had donkeys. Today we have cars. Today there's other forms of transportation, or if someone's in need of assistance, we're supposed to stop them, help them, and get them back on their way. And in fact, the understanding here of these texts goes beyond this. It's here's the scenario: you're traveling on a road, and you see you see someone else and their vehicle, which is their donkey at the time, um, it has this burden on its back, and it's fallen, maybe off the road into to a ditch or whatever, or maybe it's just overly burdened. You would remove the burden, get the animal back up, even if this person is your enemy, and then you would help your neighbor here to put the burden back up onto their donkey, and you would then make sure that he's able to continue on. You don't just let the donkey fall again. You follow them even up to 4 kilometers is the Jewish tradition. So go with him quite a long ways, just to make sure that he's going to get where he's going, and he's able to tell you, "Don't worry about it. You don't need to follow me," and in which case, fine. Then your job is done. But there's a whole series of mitzvahs here, that one would need to follow if they find themselves in these circumstances. So we should learn from this that you should assist someone whenever possible. The next is, for today, positive commandment 245. And positive commandment 245 says, and if you sell something to your neighbor, comes from Leviticus 25:14. We're commanded regarding various methods that affect transactions. For example, the ways to transfer property from one individual to another, or in the case of a guardian of an object, the transfer of jurisdiction. So this includes payment, when the actual transaction has occurred, etc. So this one's a little bit more involved and a little hard to describe, but the Torah says that you are able to sell something to your neighbor or buy something from your neighbor's hand. And the verse goes on. So it says, and this is in the context of the Yovel, the Jubilee year. It says, and when you make a sale to your fellow Jew, or make a purchase from the hand of your fellow Jew, this can also be translated as neighbor. So when you make a sale to your neighbor, or make a purchase from the hand of your neighbor, you shall not wrong one another. So that is the mitzvah for today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope we all learned some commandments. And with God's help, we'll be back tomorrow or the next day. But the plan is for tomorrow, and we will be continuing to talk about transactions. So I'm sure there's a lot more we can say about this tomorrow. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night. Bye-bye.